Hey y'all, welcome back. So today's video is going to be on this look right here. I really don't know what I'm calling this yet. I kind of just came up with it as I was going, which is how I do most of my makeup looks. And so for this look, I used a new palette that I purchased. It is this Makeup Revolution Ultra Eyeshadows palette, and this one is in the Flawless one. So it is this one, in case you missed my haul. Super pretty. I wanted to try out these like burgundy copper shades, and I think that this look turned out really well. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave and like the video. Any video requests for me, please leave them down below as always, and let's just go ahead and get started. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is prime our eyes, and for this I'm using this NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk, and just blending that out, it just gives a nice even base. I usually use concealer, but since I don't have any makeup on, we're going to do a base today. So with this yellowish shade from this Makeup Revolution palette, we're going to put that all over our eyelid up to our brow bone, just to kind of set the base, and it'll just help with the other colors. So moving on to the crease shade, we're going to use this lightest transition shade in the palette, and it's just a light brown, and we're going to put that all in our crease, and I'm going to build it up a couple of times because as you can see, the eyes are pretty dark, so I wanted the transition to be a little bit darker than I usually would. So we're going to go in a couple of times, but I just blended out and everything is good. So now we're going to move on to a darker crease shade, and I'm going to use this with a more precise blending brush and putting that directly in my crease, like where my socket is. And if you don't know, you can really feel when you get in there with a brush, you can feel right where your socket is, and that's where I wanted the darkest brown to go. So we put that in there, and then we're just going to blend everything out so it's a very seamless transition. And then we're going to move on to the lid shade, which is this beautiful copper shimmery shade. And the shimmer shades in this palette are amazing. I think they're better than the matte shades. So, I mean, this was one swipe and it just goes on so beautifully. So, just like the rest of the eye, we're going to build it up as dark as we want. And I'm really trying to keep this on my lid, but bring it up just a little bit to where you can see it if I open my eye, because I do have hooded eyes. So with that same blending brush, we're going to go in with that burgundy shade and put that in my crease as well. I just wanted to give it more of a burgundy reddish tint to it rather than all brown, if that makes sense. So we're just going to go in with lots of different colors today and blend them out basically. So now that everything is nice and blended, we took the tape off to give it that nice sharp edge, and I just went in with a thin winged line. I just thought it made this look even more perfect and smoky. I didn't bring the wing too far out, as you can see. I just wanted to be very subtle but still have a wing. So moving on to the face, we're going to be using that Maybelline Master Prime, I think it's like the Redness and Blur Primer, and then the L'Oreal True Match foundation. For all the products I used today and the colors and shades and everything, they will all be listed down below in the comments, or not the comments, but the description box, as always, so check there if I'm going too fast. And I'm using this L'Oreal Infallible, what is this, sponge to blend everything out. I actually really like this, so if you haven't tried this sponge, you really need to. And now we're moving on to concealer, and I actually did a video on this and I love it. So this is the Wet n Wild concealer stick, and blending that out with this sponge as well. It's amazing. It gives really great coverage and it just blends out super easy, and it looks really natural on the skin, which is something I love about this concealer. So now I'm going to set my face, and I'm using my Holy Grail powder for this, and it's the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder. I love this. I use it all the time, and I use the shade Transparent, and it just gives a nice finish to your skin, and I just love to set my face even though I have dry skin. So moving on to bronzer, yes, it is super dark, and that is my fault because I have such a heavy hand, but this is the Wet n Wild bronzer in the shade Princess, and I do blend this out, don't you worry. But yeah, it was really dark. That's my fault. Next up is blush, and I'm going to be using this Makeup Revolution blush palette with these two neutral shades. This palette is so pigmented, y'all. You really need a little bit, and it just goes a long way. Moving on to highlighter, we're going to use this Wet n Wild highlighter in the shade Precious Petal. I hauled this and I think I used it actually in one video. It is so beautiful. Y'all need this in your life for summer. It gives such a beautiful glow. Can't say enough good things about it. So we're going to line our eyes with the NYX Jumbo Pencil again in the shade Milk. I just felt like it would give my eyes that extra pop if I smoked out the bottom lash line, which is what I'm doing here, but then had white liner. So we're going to be using that burgundy shade that we put directly in our crease. We're going to be lining our bottom lash line with that, and then we're going to blend that out with the dark transition shade that we used up top. And then we're going to blend everything out with this first transition shade that we used. It was that light brown shade, just to make everything smoky and bring it down a little bit. And then I did my brows off camera, and I'm going to go in with this Wet n Wild mascara and these Ardell Studio Effects lashes. And for the lips, I use this Maybelline lipstick in the shade 950 Untainted Spice. So that is the whole look, y'all. I really hope y'all enjoyed this. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.